Well, hidey-ho, viewerinos. My name is Danzy, and welcome back to another installment of whatever it is that I do here each week. Now, I'm eager to dive into this stunning adventure of an episode, so something spoilers, something non-linear review. Okay, let's do this. Starting off my flaccid attempt at positivity section, I'm probably gonna be at a lonely table for one here, but I don't know, I really liked Gendry's proposal to Arya. Honestly, this was the kind of puppy love I was hoping for from these two. It all felt really sweet and in character, and if it weren't for them failing to do some pretty basic fact-checking, I would have no complaints. Like, come on guys, you can't take 30 seconds to Wikipedia this shit. But I'm afraid the title of Lady of Storm's End isn't yours to give away, Gendry. Because you see, it belongs to me. Also, this is gonna surprise a lot of you, but I actually thought this episode had one of Bronn's best scenes in the entire series. No, really. Like, in a season where everything just seems to be getting worse and worse, Bronn, of all things, is the one aspect of the show that's gotten better. Wow, maybe D&D are masters of subverting expectations, because I gotta admit, I didn't see that coming. I'm also really glad that they had that funeral scene at the beginning, because defeating the Night King was stupidly easy, and this at least made you feel like something was lost in order to defeat him. Even though they still really want you to forget about the actual context of some of these deaths. Lyanna Mormont was laying there like a beautiful little angel, who the directors totally didn't have fruit gushered by a giant last week. The cuts on Jorah's face were really unfortunate. It made him look like a sad, dead clown. So I guess you could say he died the way he lived. Okay, but seriously, thank God that someone actually cared that Theon died. I loved when Sansa gave him a Stark pin. It was actually one of the few unironic moments of enjoyment I've had this season. Unlike this next thing, that should really be in the bad section, but the heart wants what it wants, you guys. Now, the feast starts out, and I'm like, oh boy, reminding me that Robert, Stannis, and Renly are dead. What a way to put me in a good mood. But then we get the what can only be described as magical line of, does anyone know who's Lord of Storm's End? What an excellent question, Daenerys. Who is in charge of Storm's End right now? Please tell us, writers, and while you're at it, maybe let us know who's been in charge of Sunspear, Riverrun, and Highgarden all this time. D&D, is this some sick power play where you trash your own writing before I can? Like, what, was Storm's End just occupied by one sad bannerman holding up a Stannis flag hoping he'd come back? Full disclosure though, that person was me. Now, there are people that are going to say that legitimizing a Baratheon bastard is politically one of the stupidest things Daenerys could do, especially given the absolute meltdown she has over Jon's claim. And those people would be right, but also, Baratheon supremacy, yeah! Anyway, fun's over now. We're skipping the okay section and we're going straight into the bad today. God, we finally get a Stark family meeting. We should have had like 5 of these by now. Although I say Stark family meeting, it's really more like the no one matters in this story but Jon convention. Or no Mitzbajikon, as I like to call it. Tickets on sale now. Seriously though, Jon, your Boy Scout act of drinking in moderation and making sure you're home in bed by 8:30 or whatever is really cute, but unless you're planning to actually make a play for the throne, you're just upsetting everybody's lives by telling them this information. This isn't an act of thoughtful consideration, you're just jerking everyone around. We're not family because I'm not a Stark, but also keep my secrets because we're family, and also I'm not even gonna tell you myself, I'm gonna make Bran do it. Like, pfft. Then after all this waffling, it just cuts away, and we don't even get to see their reaction to this bomb being dropped on them. Hey, Benioff, Weiss, did you wanna, like, finish writing your scene, or? And while you're at it, maybe show Jon hugging Ghost, because God, he's an asshole in this episode. Although, he may as well have released him into the wild in season 1 for all he did in this series, like, God, the direwolves were such a waste in this show. And a big reaction I've seen in the wake of this is fans getting mad that Sansa broke her promise that she made under a heart tree, because that's this episode's biggest problem. Oh my God, something inconsistent with the lore of the source material. Game of Thrones has never been like this before. Anyways, Daenerys is basically just Viserys now, right down to the jealousy, impatience, and manipulation. Similar to Melisandre coming back last episode, I don't hate the idea of her going full mad Targaryen on principle. And to their credit, this was narratively seeded. Unlike a lot of things this season, this isn't technically an out-of-nowhere twist. But the reason it feels like it is because instead of getting a smooth character transition over several seasons, she just got this sudden uptick in crazy. And it's fueled by this weird idea that Jon would have to be king if people knew about his lineage. But again, as long as he doesn't want the crown, this is a total non-issue. Like, Jon, what are they gonna do? They can't duct tape you to the throne and make you rule. Like, just formally abdicate, or play into the fact that you can't because of your Night's Watch vows, or burn the page in the book that says Rhaegar got an annulment, or tell them he had 2 sons named Aegon and they won't believe this dumb story anyways. Like, you can't tell me in the long line of convenient bullshit we needed to make you heir, you couldn't find some kind of out. Interestingly, though, you know which character was totally right in hindsight? Robert Baratheon. Leaving Targaryen heirs alive did end up being bad news. The first season toys with the idea that she needs to be taken out to ensure peace. And after 9 years worth of stuff happening and audiences following this character on this huge journey, the answer ended up being, quite simply, she needs to be taken out to ensure peace. Storytelling! I really want to be here for Brienne and Jaime, but I just can't be. You went years without caring about this relationship, and to suddenly pretend like you do now just feels like you're rewarding your audience for not paying attention. I'm also just really not here for this weird everyone has to lose their virginity before the end of the series trend they have going on. Like, it's just a really bizarre thing to fixate on. Also, did they just make a Taisha reference? Yeah, I don't think you're really in any position to brag about not following the books right now, D&D. Oh my god, okay. The absolute experience that was Rhaegal's death. I literally started crying because I was laughing so hard. And I actually had the forethought to record my live reaction to this, which I'll put at the end of the video. Now, while I thought that this was some of the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life, because again, I stopped drinking the Kool-Aid years ago, and I have zero expectations for this show anymore. It's nice to see fans being rightfully pissed about this, and realizing that a cohesive narrative is always going to be more satisfying than empty shock value. This actually does make me really excited to see if Euron will kill Rhaegal in the books, though. Like, can you imagine where Euron is an actually awesome character and at the hands of a writer that actually knows what he's doing? I can't wait. Because I can guarantee the description of how it goes down will not be Euron's boat shows up straight the fuck out of nowhere with him riding a scorpion that looks like the thing they used to shoot TIE fighters from Star Wars and kills one but not both dragons with perfect accuracy. Curtailing off that though, can we talk about the weird sequence of events here? The mast falls on Tyrion, it cuts to black for 4 or 5 seconds, and then they're just on the beach. It's such a weird editing choice to do that when you could just put another scene there and come back. Then they capture Missandei, who in no way could have made it to that rowboat in time and would have just ended up on the beach with the rest of them. Then it cuts to Euron instantly back in King's Landing, telling Cersei, "Oh, Daenerys is coming for us, we need to be ready." What do you mean you need to be ready? You blew apart all their ships and then just politely left them there on Dragonstone. And this isn't the only time Cersei and Euron could have just won this war, but didn't this episode. Like, just shoot them, guys. You have everything you need to take down Drogon, and everyone's standing in this... Wait, okay, sorry, I'm confused. Did this last scene take place at Casterly Rock? Because this looks nothing like King's Landing, which in every other instance was immediately adjacent to a forest. Wait, oh my god, you guys, I just figured it out. This is why Cersei is the final boss. She has become so evil that she can terraform the earth en masse. But yeah, I don't hate the fact that Missandei got fridged as much as some people, although I do agree that she didn't really need another reason to be pissed. To me, this just reads like they had no idea of what to do with her character, and if that's the case, I don't know why they just didn't kill her off in the battle last episode. This whole thing felt really overdramatic and performative. Alright, talking about the really bad. So, I know usually these videos are just me making silly jokes at the writer's expense, and singing songs, and putting sheets over my head, and if that's all you're here for, that's awesome, but you might want to skip ahead a little bit because I'm about to get really angry and serious here. I made a sarcastic post on my Facebook a while back about how if we got a reunion between Sansa and the Hound, it would just be a joke. Like, it would just be meme baiting, right? Yeah. I wish that's what we got, because what we did get might actually be the most abhorrent conversation ever written for television. The Hound saying things to Sansa like, "I heard you were broken and rough," is the grossest possible way you could have put that. And then Sansa's like, "Yeah, but I got revenge, so it's like my harrowing rape never happened. Being sexually assaulted was my wake-up call. Without it, I would have stayed a dumb child forever." Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, D&D? Look, even putting a pin in the real-world implications of this, here's why it still sucks. Even I didn't think it was possible for them to miss the point of Sansa's character this badly. The idea here shouldn't be that Sansa needed to experience these horrible things in order to ditch the kind heart that was holding her back. Because what makes Sansa so great in the books is that, despite all of the horrible, horrible things that happened to her, she doesn't lose her empathy for other people. She doesn't become jaded like the Hound. She sees the broken human being he is due to his childhood trauma and chooses to, both literally and metaphorically, not follow him. Being shaped by a horrible world isn't what makes her strong. Her strength is that she doesn't let it shape her. I can't believe I have to explain to two grown-ass men kindergarten-level concepts like, being a caring person doesn't make you less intelligent. For example, here's something you can do after the series that's both intelligent and caring. Retire. Anyways, final thoughts. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, as someone who's been critical of this show since, like, 2014, it's nice to finally feel vindicated, because this show is destroying itself at the finish line. For 5 years, I got called a hater and an unreasonable book snob. But who's laughing now, internet? Who's left? Wait, is that a Starbucks cup? Anyways, the one solitary bingo we have this week is my Baratheon fangirling. I know I'm totally cheating because I said that we had to actually see Storm's End, but meh, I'm gonna count it. If you would like to see me put delicious accidental product placement into my mouth so that I can stay up all night editing videos, please consider becoming a patron. Also, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss new videos, and ding that bell. That way we can at least get one Battle of the Bells that wasn't based on a lie. Get it? Because they brought up the whole Robert's Rebellion was based on a lie thing again. And then one of the battles he fought was called the Battle of the Bells. See, it's clever because I'll see you next week, friends. Oh my god, is that Storm's End? Oh no, it's just Dragonstone. Boo. Okay, we're flying. What? That's it, he's just dead. How did she not see them? She was up in the air. What? Don't fly at them. What is he sitting in? What is going on? And then they're not gonna be able to hit her. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Alright.
Get to the skiff.
Get to the skiff? Get to the skiff and go where? No, stop. I take it back. I take back everything bad I said. This show is amazing. Oh my god.